last but certainly not least, is our dear Brooke Oxtal. Um, Brooke is a certified Kali Reiki practitioner and wisdom school guest teacher. She is also a certified clinical hypnotherapist and self proclaimed mystic. Her own journey towards physical and karmic healing led her to pursue practicing alternative forms of energy work that have had a profound impact on her life. So we welcome Brooke here today and look forward to hearing more about her experiences as well.
Minute. Brooke is not just a wisdom school guest teacher. She actually is a certified Kali Reiki teacher as well as practitioner. Just wanted to brag on you a little bit, Brooke.
Thank you for the introduction. It's been so beautiful hearing all of your stories and how seemingly individual they are. But when you kind of peek behind the curtain, really they're all experiences that are so universal, and it's of the power of limitless love and just the presence that you receive when experiencing Reiki. So my journey into the wisdom school and into the home of Rajashri Ma truly was by divine intervention, and really just kind of experiencing a time in my life where I felt a bit misaligned. I was really praying and searching for guidance, but not knowing where to turn. And so the story kind of begins with a friend reaching out who at the time was living in Australia. I hadn't talked to her in 8 years. And we were just having a really deep conversation and connection. And she recommended that I read this book called Journey of Souls. And so I read it, and it really had a profound impact on me at that time. And it kind of gave me some context to what I had always felt. I always felt a very deep spiritual connection to a higher power, a higher self, source. But I didn't have any, religious tradition or lineage, education to put context to it. So while I felt very spiritual in my life, I didn't have an understanding of how to make that connection. And so after I read this book, it was written by Michael Newton, and I looked on his institute, and I really wanted to experience a hypnotherapy session, which is what he did. And so I was looking up practitioners in the area. I found one in Sausalito. I didn't even know, but she did lead the Michael Newton Institute. And so I went to her. Long story short, I couldn't really drop in. There was some friction, and I was coming up on some inner child trauma. And so she had graciously suggested that I go to another practitioner, a therapist who she thought could really be helpful to me. So I went to him. I would never have found him online either, totally by divine intervention. And I think it was probably in our first or second session, he recommended I go to Rajashri Ma and receive some Reiki, because I had been experiencing some physical difficulties that had been ongoing all my life. And that was just kind of a manifestation of abuse I had experienced as a young child. And so he suggested I go to Rajashri Ma and receive some Reiki. And so I was very open. I never heard of Reiki at the time or had a session. But as soon as I arrived at Rajashri Ma's home, like Shireen said, there is just this calming, palpable energy that immediately puts you at ease. And so I felt very trusting, very open. I had no expectations, but I soon, got on the Reiki table. And as soon as I did, it truly was transported outside of my body. As soon as I dropped in and felt the Reiki, her hands on my body, I it was an out of body experience. I was able to drop in into a completely altered state of consciousness. And I felt as if I was traveling through the cosmos to the heart of the universe. I mean, it's hard to put into words the experience because it's an experience beyond words. But there was something that just really opened up in my heart and in my soul, a connection that I was so deeply longing for. And I felt no pain in my body. I felt, finally, when I came back into my body, I felt at home. I felt safe. And through a series of, many more sessions with Rajashri Ma, there was just so many mystical encounters. I think we both experienced in one session a series of 5 beings coming into the room and performing sort of an energetic clearing of my body. For me, Reiki is experienced not only very spiritually, but very physically. And so I felt this stream of energy enter through the crown of my head and connect through my entire body, through the bottoms of my feet. And it was just such a powerful force that it felt as if my whole body was being cleared. And after that, we experienced a child come into the room. My child, who had been there and was leading me on this spiritual journey. And it was such a beautiful experience to feel this child and hold it and be a mother. And now the journey has really come full circle because I'm now carrying this child